Hello.
Hello, everybody.
All right. All righty. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today with Dome Talk. My name is Emma, and I'm the project coordinator here at NSD. A little bit about me. I started with building cabinetry in high school, and I studied interior design and sustainability in college. After I graduated, found myself in the plumbing world, and now I'm here. I'll be your moderator today, guiding the conversation, answering questions in the chat as we go. Here's how things will flow today. We'll kick off with a few questions submitted by you, our guests. And then we will also go into a few segments on roofing and installation. But we'll do as many live questions as we can after that. Feel free to jump in if we're going over your question to clarify or add into the conversation. We aim to wrap up in about an hour, but sometimes these things go over a little. So if you need to step away, feel free. Won't hurt our feelings. All right, now let's meet the rest of our team. First, we have Dennis Johnson. He is our dome guru and the founder of Natural Spaces Domes. Dennis has been designing and building domes for more than 50 years. He has done over 3,000 dome designs and completed them around the world. His passion has always been creating domes that are strong, healthy, eco-friendly, and of course, beautiful. Dennis, would you like to say hello?
Hello, everybody. Glad you could meet with us today. We like to see everybody here in the room.
Yeah, it's fun to see everybody's faces because we just end up talking to so many people and emailing, but it's really fun to see you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then next we have Tessa Hill. She's the president, co-owner, and of course, Dennis's wife. She's as interested in domes and keeps the business growing. She's leading the charge of reorganization, streamlining our design process so we can better serve our homeowners. She also runs a powerful nonprofit called Kids for Saving Earth. Go check it out. Tessa, the floor is yours.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I've been trying to save the earth now since 1989 when I started Kids for Saving Earth. So, teachers, church leaders and teachers and high school, even we've got all age groups from preschool. So yeah, that's a little aside to domes, but yes, I do enjoy domes and I really enjoy the fact that they're so energy efficient and we try to build them so that they're also environmentally healthy for you. Glad you're here.
And finally, we have Josh Bidman. He is our operations manager. He has a background in construction, AutoCAD, architecture, and shipping logistics. He has become an essential part of helping people bring their dome projects to life. Please introduce yourself, Josh.
Hi, everybody. I'm Josh. It's nice to see you all today and answer some of your questions.
Oh. And finally, we would like to give you a quick invitation to our headquarters here in North Branch, Minnesota. You are always welcome to come tour the 8 fabulous domes we have on this property. We have 3 model homes, a screen porch, 2 workshop domes, and our mini dome. Reach out anytime to schedule a tour.
We
Alrighty.
also have an official tour happening the weekend
yeah.
October 4th. So there'll be like 14 domes on the tour. So if you're interested, just join us. We'd love to see you.
It's kind of like our own little parade of domes.
Yes, it is.
All right, our first question. Let me get the PowerPoint up here. All right. Welcome to Dome Talk, everyone. Okay. Our first question is coming from, I'll be honest, I have no idea how to pronounce your name, so I'm very sorry, but they're from Croatia. They intend to build an eco village project that includes a dome. However, our domes are too expensive for them. So they are interested in the aluminum frame domes. Dennis, do you want to talk a little bit about these?
Yeah, they're a different kind of a dome. Glamping is the word that is being used. They're pipe frame, if you want to call it that. They are, they have an interior and insulated with another layer of mylar or other type of fabric. This is a totally separate dome, and it's not like it could be used in the daytime.
In wintertime.
Wintertime. It's going to be
It's not going to be as sturdy or as permanent
yes.
as our domes. Our domes are substantial homes. It just depends on your use. You know, they look beautiful here, but they will not withstand heavy storms and hurricanes and things like that. Snow loads would be tough. So yeah, they're just strictly for camping, glamorous camping, glamping.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you want. If you want a village that someone's going to live in throughout the year and everyone's going to have their homes, we would not recommend this.
But we would recommend what's on the next slide.
This might be a little elaborate for us, but it's a beautiful dome.
It's in Afton, Minnesota, and it's a 46-foot diameter dome. It's got a rock foundation, and I should say a cement foundation with a rock facing.
Exterior, yeah.
This is our landmark dome.
They did a really nice job with it, and they have just sold it. They were there for several years, and now
Yes.
they have just sold it. So it's not going to be on our tour this year because these people are just moving in, but we've talked with them, and they are enthusiastic about domes, and I think they'd like to be on it next year.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, very cool.
All right, this leads us into our next question. This is from Christy. She is looking to build a dome in Iceland, and she's asking, do our domes, do they meet the requirements for that weather there?
There's a good example. That dome is at the top of the Greenland island, I guess, with 10,000 feet of snow below it. It is a GIPS 2 research dome, and currently has outlived its usefulness, and it's going to be not the 100-foot tower, but the 52-foot dome is being left to be buried in the snow.
But we live in Minnesota, and Minnesota's climate is probably worse than Iceland.
Yes.
It's very severe.
There's a shot from the top of the tower down. It when you analyze 10,000 feet of ice, you go back 250,000 years. It's
So I'm assuming they found out a lot of information.
yes, they did.
That.
Uh,
I thought this was a fun little piece of history to include.
Yeah.
No, it was a good way for them to find out about global warming because they could see how much
Yeah.
carbon was in the snow and ice samples as they went down. So that over the years they can see how the atmosphere was.
Mm-hmm.
This dome is in Norway, in far northern Norway. So
Mm.
it is a 40-foot high profile
It's in the Arctic Circle.
in Boda.
That's it, completed, finished.
Mm-hmm. And that will bring us to our next question. I have Keith from Georgia. He is asking about skylights that another dome roofer constructed for them, so it's not our product. They are asking on if we have any recommendations on how they can be installed.
Can I interrupt just a minute?
Yeah,
I just want to make sure we're recording. I didn't hear.
we are recording. Yep.
We somehow we haven't, our recordings haven't worked the last 2 times, and we want to make sure we get this
It's recording.
online for people. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're good. Well,
So-
and to that, sir, we say, reach out for a consultation, because we have no idea what your skylight looks like, so we're not sure how to install them.
We have a particular window that we do in the
Mhm.
dome. If you want to go back one slide, it's the glass windows and
Skylights.
skylights. We term skylight is used for any one of the triangles, trapezoids, or whatever shape you want in the dome roof. The windows below that are considered rectangular.
So they're just plain old windows.
They're just plain old windows. They just have to be maybe Marvin, and the same with the patio door.
So yes, consultation's the best thing we recommend because we need to find out exactly what kind of dome you have.
Mhm.
You do need to send us a lot, some information ahead of time to prepare for it. And we can usually custom design them to fit in a lot of domes, even if they're not natural spaces domes.
All right. Next, we have Christian from Massachusetts. He is curious about using hay construction along with other additives like recycled plastics and packing foam to boost the R value and cut down on costs for buying necessary supplies. Oops, we forgot to go over Gloria's. We'll come back to that.
We'll go back to that one.
Yeah, come back to that one.
Okay.
We do have a dome that has hay on the riser walls.
Yes, on the vertical
Capitola.
walls
Mhm.
and the interior walls too. The dome Norway is done with mud, mixture. It's cob installation. We think, well, Josh can explain a little bit about our system. This is our test area. It's underneath us right now.
Mhm. On our floor.
It's 16 square feet of insulation. There's 5 different kinds of insulation. There's a top right is bubble wrap. Next one down from that's bubble wrap. Then we have 1 inch and then 2 inch on the lower left,
A foam.
and then foam on the upper left-hand corner. There's why we need a climate map. There are many zones in this country. 7 to be exact, all the way from Florida to northern Minnesota and Alaska.
Mhm.
Oh, 8? I says, yeah.
It changed.
Uh,
So-
so you want to take over?
Yeah, so what we were doing with this test was trying to see how each installation performs.
Mhm.
And try and just see, what's the best way of doing things for us. We're going over this just to say that, not to say that you couldn't use hay in other materials. But what insulation value you're gonna gain from that, and the amount of work you'll put into it may not be enough
Mhm.
to make the difference you need. But this is, it, and then, but this can all be complicated. It depends on what zones you're in.
Mhm.
Here we're showing you,
Like, let's
A
go with
chart.
the Massachusetts question, for example.
Massachusetts is up in zone 5.
5.
Mhm.
so for zone 5, you need an R72. It's what we're recommending for you.
Mhm.
When you're looking at codes, just remember that those are the minimum
Mhm.
you can use. So to make the worst structure legally allowed, you can use that amount.
Mhm.
Now, we suggest an R72, and then there's ratios here shown about how you can achieve that with different materials.
Mhm.
So spray foam, closed cell spray foam, for example, you get an R7 per inch. Whereas fiberglass, you're gonna get around 3.5 to 4 R value per inch. So to meet the same amount of insulation quality, basically, you need a larger wall if you're using fiberglass versus spray foam. Now with hay, you might need 2.5 feet of it to get
Mhm.
what you need. So
Other than that, not recommended.
yeah, it really depends on what you need to get from it, if that's a feasible option for you. And like recycled foam, kind of like shit packing peanuts, for example, there would be less effective than a foam board, where a foam board is not going to allow air to go through in between the pieces, whereas the packing peanuts, there's kind of spaces between,
Mhm.
making it less effective as a barrier, forcing that air.
We have an example of the foam boards coming up here, so we'll show
This
you
is
that.
I was going to mention that the insulation that we recommend, that we provide, is a recycled product. So it has an environmental aspect,
Yes.
and it's not all difficult to handle.
And it's less itchy, and it's less of an irritant to
Mhm.
get on you, but it does make a big deal when you're putting it in, because taking a cold shower after fiberglass is not the most pleasant thing to do. When you're using like the typical Owen Cornings and other products.
Are you speaking from experience?
Yeah, and I don't like taking cold showers, so it's a double negative.
Next, we'll go through a few types of insulation that we do recommend here.
Sheep wool is available, but it does have additional requirements.
Mhm.
It can hold moisture and is more susceptible to mold and things. So I believe there has to be like an additional airspace for it to dry itself and stuff like that in case it does get moisture. Mm.
That is fiberglass that you see in that case. And there are 3 panels in among our 4 panels over on the right-hand side that aren't insulated yet.
So we provide you with large rolls of insulation so they can be cut all in one piece to fit into the triangle, which is much easier than strips of insulation and more effective.
Is this the EcoBat that you were talking about?
That's the same material, just a
Mhm.
different color.
Uh,
You see this blue ramp was what it was, that was holding it in place.
Yeah.
Before you
They
get
just-
interior panels, right?
Yes, before you get the interior panels.
And what they did is they did the roofing and then they took the deck armor they had remaining after they were done and cut that into 3-inch strips to put across as this webbing. So,
Now, not all of that is being held up by the bats. The bats fit in the triangles. It's got a taper. When you plan this out, you are, for the first 2 rows, you have no
You don't need to have it. It
Yeah,
stays.
yeah, they're,
nothing.
yeah, it's not enough pitch of them for them to fall out. They'll stay in the first 2 rows typically. So,
Here you see one. You can forward it to this. There, that's the very
And-
top of the dome.
yeah.
There's not
And-
really much bulge at all.
And you'll notice there's no poly because they have spray foam, a few inches of spray foam as their vapor barrier against the sheathing. So that's why they're able to start putting up the interior panels and you don't see any poly.
Unlike this does have the poly.
Yeah, so this has no spray foam. It's all fiberglass
Mhm.
insulation, probably with a vented airspace. That comes up around the base of the cupola at the top, and then there's holes around the bottom, right above the top of the riser walls and the triangles.
This is Bear Creek Dome that you see before any interior walls are in place.
Bear Creek Dome is what we're in right now.
Yeah.
It's our home.
Spray foam is an added option if you can afford it. It is 3 times the cost of fiberglass, maybe even more. But it is an effective insulation. This here is covered a 2x8. It's got full coverage on it, foam insulation.
We recommend a hybrid system to make it less expensive. So the first part of it would be the spray foam. And we also have a particular spray foam we recommend because it has less toxins in it. And then you also have that additional barrier to it with the fiberglass insulation.
Yeah, it kind of gets you the most bang for your buck. You know, the best of both worlds. Here you
Windows skylights are tapered in. This is
Foam.
foam insulation. The spray foam comes along and you're controlling it.
Okay, we move on.
Mhm.
There's 2 inches of foam here on top of our dome. This is a 1980 dome. It had 2x6 walls, and the 2x6 walls had fiberglass in them. So that really isn't enough dome, isn't enough insulation. And we decided to try out 2-inch foam board insulation. This is that, and we did a 1/2-inch plywood over the surface, and it's there it is. It's flory. Part that has the metal on it. These are Reinke shakes. There's a red Reinke shakes and a gray Reinke shakes.
Which are metal.
Metal. This is a permanent roof. It will last forever. Our Malarkey is a brand name we use. Malarkey shakes are Malarkey shingles. And they have a 50-year lifespan. And I believe it because we currently have our main dome of our complex built in 1975 with original.
Malarkey.
No, these weren't Malarkey,
but
but they were the highest we could find at that time. This was 35 years. They've gone well beyond 35 years. They're not shown here, but you could come and take a look at them, or we could take a picture of them.
Yeah, it's actually the dome that we're in right now.
Yeah. And there's no leaks.
A Malarkey is recommended because
The shingle can bend over. It you can
the
see
curving area, correct?
the shape of the dome.
Mhm.
And we say that you get the first row point up triangles. And then on the first row point down triangles, those overlap by 5 inches to 6 inches.
Okay.
All right. So next we have Stephanie. She's from Quebec. She's in the process of buying or interested in buying a Monterey Dome, which is our competitor. I believe they are no longer in business, right?
No,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But the dome that they're interested was built in the 90s, but they had a badly redone roof in 2019 as multiple leaks and needs to be redone. But they're in Quebec, lots of snow, different variations in temperature. A lot of local roofers apparently have been recommending elastomeric roofing. She's asking, why are most domes redone in shingles, and why not elastomeric?
yeah. Oh, that is a great question. I think that they're recommending it because they maybe don't know the pattern or have some concerns about doing the shingling correctly. But first I'll go over a little bit more about the elastomeric coatings here. This is a painted on coating. You got 3 different products you're using technically. There is a base coat, there is a butter that goes over the seams that you have to apply, and then there's a top coat. You have to do 5 layers or so of the base coat, and buttering the seams, and then you have to do probably another 5 coats of top coat or so, and then that has to be redone every 5 years. We found that this product does not perform well in moist climate areas. It's better suited to be in dry climates, or in like the Iceland dome or the Greenland dome, sorry, where it's dry cold, the snow doesn't melt, so the snow just kind of rolls over it. It's not melting and going into sitting on the structure. So usually what you see is people did the elastomeric and they liked the more modern, sleek look of it. And then after a while, they started having issues with leaks, or just keeping up with it every 5 years became too much work. So they sorry, I was reading a question at the same time. So then they come to re-roofing it and they just go with asphalt, as it's more suited for the environment that their dome's in. The-
This dome is actually in Quebec,
Yeah,
the one that we're looking at, so.
yeah. And they do quite a lot of maintenance on this dome. This is also one of the few domes you'll see where it goes past the equator line and goes in on itself to make a full dome. To achieve that, they had to use a lot of special hardware, and really heavy duty brackets that are unbelievable, but very unique, very cool. Now here you can see that butter. Yeah.
She looks like she has.
Sure.
Stephanie, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering if I understand well, though, there's a difference between the elastomeric coating and the two-ply membrane. Does that ring bells?
You know, I know that they do have newer coatings that are out, like these 2-ply coatings. I would have to look into it a bit more to see how reasonable it is.
Okay.
But I would say that most people that have elastomeric coatings have had roofing problems and reached out to us about solving them.
Okay. Just because my English, my construction English isn't really good.
Okay.
The coating, it's like a painting, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you see the
Okay.
photo, you can see
Yeah.
kind of how it looks like it's being painted on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's not what they're proposing. It's really like a membrane that is often used for flat roofs in Quebec. And
Yes.
it's like big rubber membranes that they actually glue and consolidate. So I was wondering, like, if you've ever heard of that
It's
used on a
TPO.
dome.
GPO.
It's TPO.
It's not exactly TPO. There's TPO, EPDM, and two-ply elastomeric membrane. But I'd be happy to hear about TPO.
In any case, you're going to see all the seams in that membrane.
Okay.
You have lines going all which way. That's the appearance of the dome. This dome, this is a true elastomeric. This dome here, that's gone through hurricanes the last 12, 15 years. You are dealing with a type of membrane that has some of them have a heat seal you can do.
Yeah.
Some of them are going to have the longevity to it. You are dealing with a roof that is going to be have a lifetime roof, and that you will not get it with either the elastomeric in a cold climate zone, and this is a cold climate zone, although it's dry. It's Taos, New Mexico, and we don't recommend any kind of a membrane waterproofing, nor the elastomeric in a cold climate zone.
Do you know why your existing roof is leaking. I mean, it sounds like it was put up on wrong.
Yeah, it was put up wrong. Like there's like the shingles on tops of the ridges, and like it catches the water coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So, and from what I understand, like I don't know who did it, but there's like all sorts of mistakes on it. So it really has to be redone. And we're just wondering. So I'm wondering, like, why, like, even like, why do you prefer like TP shingles versus like, let's say TPO or any membrane? Is there like a specific reason else than aesthetic or
The weather,
the weather?
that's the big difference.
Okay.
If you were in a desert, you'd be just fine.
Okay. But I mean, it's a kind of membrane that's used pretty much everywhere in Quebec.
For flat roofs.
Yes. So
Yes.
what's the difference between the two?
There's a big difference.
It's a lot harder to install on
Okay.
a curved structure than a flat one. And so what happens is then you get all of these, we'll say like wrinkles or so. And then if the seams are not done perfectly, you end up having weak points, I guess I'd say.
Yeah.
And then over time, it will can become a problem. We're not
Okay.
gonna. It's a lot higher chance of having a problem
Yeah.
that makes us not want to recommend it. You know,
Okay.
whereas if they properly do asphalt or metal shingles, we have a lot more success seen with those, a lot less problems. So unless somebody's installing, like in your case, the ridge cap and which is going to have seams catching water no matter what if they're doing that on the dome.
You got
You
a
know,
picture of that
let's say
too.
do something like that, it's a lot better.
Okay.
You got a picture of that?
We keep looking for new roofing.
We do.
Because
Actually,
so much
Sorry.
of the roof is, I mean, so much of a dome is roof.
Yes.
And so we keep wanting to find something that's really nice.
Yeah. We actually have a meeting coming up with European manufacturer of metal roofs. It is very sleek designs.
Yeah, it's not a shingle, it's a bigger piece that's smooth.
Yeah, it's a lot more modern looking.
Mm.
Emma, you've got a picture coming up of a dome with ridge caps on the seams.
Yeah, towards the very, very end.
Well, we can
Okay.
bring it up then when
Yeah.
we'll bring it up then, so.
All right.
You can bring more
I
out,
know, I
and
can
know
tell
it's-
you probably feel like you want to move away from shingles because you have this problem with the shingles now.
Yeah.
But it's just that they just installed products onto it that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
We have a roofing manual on our website. I believe it's $30.
Yeah.
If they follow that, and I recommend you read it too, because there's a lot of photographs. You can
I have.
visually. That perfect. So you'll
It's
see when
great.
you're making the problem. Tell them, make them fix it before they're done.
Mm-hmm.
Or call us, because very often roofers or any construction people think they know how to do something, and it's hard to discourage them and tell them, no, that's not the right way. So sometimes if you have them talk to us directly, we can explain.
Yeah, by the end of all our projects, you'll know me by name for sure. We'll be working together for sure.
All right.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's a good. So, there you go.
I'm glad you like domes.
Wonder if-
But yeah, this is an example we wanted to show. This is in a cold climate, with a roof being installed with shingles. We wanted to show you that specifically.
Yeah, so here they got hit by a snowstorm in early snow, and they were still working on their shingling. You can kind of see the writing on the black part
Mhm.
That's the underlayment. They have no shingles on. There's some shingles on the dome on the right side on the first row of triangles. And so really their underlayment is protecting their home in the meantime until the asphalt gets up there. And with any roof, really your shingles are meant to keep the water off of your underlayment. The underlayment is what is protecting your roof. The shingles are protecting the underlayment.
Now, I know for regular box houses, it's best to shingle in warmer weather. Would that be the same case for domes?
Shingling is always easier in warmer weather.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
Most
have to
things
do
are.
it when you have to do it. But
Mhm.
shingles become less flexible in the cold. Now new shingles are still a little better to work with. Doing remodeling, tearing shingles off and replacing them in the cold is worse. As they're older, they become more stiff. Than the cold, you just end up kind of tearing at them and, having a larger area to fix than you wanted to.
These domes are as a triple dome, as you see, three domes in this picture. There's two
Yeah,
on our left hand.
you can see the
In Pittsburgh,
hiding back there.
They're in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
It has a swimming pool in it?
yeah. That's dome number 3. That what you can't see, it's got a swimming pool. Yep.
Wow.
Next,
Oh,
move
cool.
on to another question.
Yeah.
Yep. So that will now lead us into our next segment, which is roofing.
I think we've been covering roofing pretty well.
We really want to show the shingles that are easy to put on. They last 50 years, and I can vouch for that. And they're not hard to put on. The types of membrane waterproofing you're putting on. This is a 2-layer type of roof. It is on the top part that we use Grace Ice and Water Shield, and it's HT, which means it's one step up. The regular Grace product for waterproofing is called Select. It will take 180-degree temperatures. The HT will take 240-degree temperatures. And you have metal around some of the windows. And on the top part of that dome, you can use that. You can use the Ultra, which is what they had on the other one. Back up one more.
There it is.
They had Ultra on these, and they wanted it to be waterproof. Well, it is waterproof. It's very thick, and it's rated for 300-degree temperature. So you've got a roof that works with whatever kind of shingle you want. But we say malarkey because it's just a better shingle. It's got a SBS. It's modified with these chemicals, and you have something that is virtually
Indestructible.
a lifetime roof. You're going to have to redo it 50 years from now.
Depends on your lifetime.
So it depends, yeah.
When you're
Exactly.
starting.
Yeah,
For me, maybe not a lifetime product, but
yeah, it depends.
So you remember that it's 50 years, and you'll get 60, 65, 70 years out of this roof.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's a recycled asphalt product, so it's a little more environmentally friendly than some other companies. As well as doing good with the warrantying of domes. A lot of companies you'll find do tell you that you need to have ridge cap on your dome or they won't warranty the product, which is why some people install it when they shouldn't, I think, because they're being pushed to by the manufacturers.
So Stephanie, don't let them install ridge cap.
Yeah. Malarkey knows about our domes. They've been working with us a long time and they don't do that. So they'll keep their word.
This is the metal shingle that we use. It's Reinke aluminum shake. They come in small pieces compared to an asphalt roof. You're nailing them on. Now, stand back this distance. Can you see there? You might just see some of the nails hole. You're dealing with the nails will disappear, and depending on the roofer,
Yeah, you can't see the nails.
you can't really see the nails. So that is protecting the asphalt shingles, protecting the underlayment.
And there's a lot of different colors in the middle too, but it is more expensive.
This is Dan, our roofer.
It looks a little different today.
He is. He's actually, he builds some of the domes too. He's done.
Yeah, this dome here is from his Instagram actually. So this is Dan's work.
Yeah, this one he just did the re-roofing on though, but he's built two, he's helped build two of them in Wisconsin over the last year. Two different projects.
He
He's
built the
special.
Fox dome, didn't he?
Yeah.
The first dome we started with, he did.
The Fox Dome?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just read through their file last week, ironically, and saw his name and a photo of him. It might have been the same photo. I don't know. No, it's not this one. Yeah.
The
So
picture that Emma provided.
Yeah, this is a homeowner special. They did a patch, and they didn't exactly do it correctly.
so they were having some trouble getting the shingles under there and nailing them. So they just put some caulking on there and then kind of stuffed them back up into place and, you know, hoped for the best, I suppose. And, you know, sometimes nothing's, you know, something's better than nothing if you have a real big problem, but you do want to have somebody do it correctly for you after, you know.
And why is caulking bad? Why is that a no-no?
So yeah, caulking is bad for roofing because what happens is that if you put a full seam of caulk around the top of those shingles, the water that hits it is now going to be trapped between the shingles under it. It leads for water to go underneath the shingles and start going on top of your underlayment, which then if it finds any hole or any kind of you know, mistake, it's going to go right into that and continue going until you start to notice the problem once it's accumulated to a bigger issue.
And water always finds a way.
Yeah. So
This shingle here wasn't nailed properly. Malarkey gives you 1.25 inches between a marked area in which case you are nailing that on and you're using 6 nails or 8 nails. Is probably a conventional shingle, which is not a warranted product. And they have about a 1/2 inch to a 3/4 inch nailing space. It's much wider with Malarkey shingles. And, you know, it's fractions of an inch, but it's 1.25 inches.
Okay, let's move on.
There's a case that you don't want. Oh boy, this is a rich cap, Neil. You can do all you want and you will get a leak under that roof because you have, first of all, they're 3-tab shingles and they don't work. They don't go across and overlap the shingles properly. You're dealing with, we've got a roof right now. And we're dealing with it. We're not dealing with it.
They did it fairly recently and they're just heartbroken
Yeah,
that they had to spend all that money to find out it was wrong. So it's really important to check with the dome guru here about some of that kind of stuff. By the way, I don't know if some of you know that Dennis had a stroke. Probably it's almost close to 2 years ago, but he's really doing well. He's a little slow here and there finding words, but he's improving continually. So let's move on to the next question.
Yep, we have 2 more things to go over. The next question comes from our customer Peebler. She is asking about how do you go about getting a plan for your electrician?
Yeah.
well, these are some pictures.
This is the Bear Creek.
Bear Creek. And it shows you the multiple outlets that you can put, that you need to put in, because on the left of that little box is one fourplex.
Toaster. There's toaster, there's coffee, there's that's a cleaning solution that
Yeah,
water-based, vinegar-based. But there's just nowadays it just is endless the amount of
you're gonna, yeah.
things you need to plug in, and so you really need to make your own plans to begin with as to where you want outlets and how many you want.
You can
Yeah, I
take
recommend.
your plan that we created for you, and you can mark up where you think they should be. Then you should go to your person that you choose for the electrical work and argue with him and proceed to get exactly what you want. We had the luxury of doing this ourselves. There you can see the fourplex outlets. On the left, you see that there's a fourplex, there's one that's not used. And on the right, there's one that's not used, all 3 of them. If you had a twoplex outlet, and realize these are only 2.5 feet apart, about 2.5, 3 feet apart. There's a tremendous amount of electrical work. This is in our bedroom. That there's a switch that's taped over that allows you to turn off the power to the room.
In case you don't want
Electromagnetic field. If you are concerned about that, you have this trip switch, which shuts off the power to the room. But
hard to charge your phone though.
Yeah. Well, you don't charge in your bedroom.
On the kitchen table or something, yeah. Yeah. But you want to look over your plans and kind of envision what you would need. Where are you going to want to put your stuff on your counter? How many plugs do you roughly need? And then go over that with your contractor. I'd maybe circle little spots and say like, hey, I want one here, 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 and here. And then he'll determine how he wants to run the wires to there most efficiently
Mhm.
for himself. I find a lot of contractors, plumbing and electrical contractors, don't like other people to make the plan for them. They want to see your plans, work with you, and create their own electrical diagram or, wiring plan for that, or plumbing plan.
And allow yourself time on this because it really takes a lot of thought. You're coming down the stairs and you need a switch to turn the light on while you're going down the stairs.
And turn
It's
it
just-
off. when
And
you
turn
get
it
to the
off
bottom.
when you get to the bottom. So you really, it's harder than you think. I think both our cabin and this house, there's a couple things I still didn't do right, so.
All right, this leads to our very final question for this evening. This comes from Constantine, and she is over in Greece. She's asking about installing a solar water heater on a dome, and she's saying preferably without a pump. What do we have to say about that?
Yeah, well, it is hard to put one on the dome, as you'll see. But what you could do is put it on an extension, like what you see coming off the dome to the left or right-hand side. You could put it up there on the roof, where it's able to get, you'll want to have that, you'll probably want to do some pre-planning where you make sure that that extension gets a good amount of sun during the day, the way that you put your house on the land. And then maybe you'll want your utilities in that same general area of the house. But it is possible to do on an extension. It's really difficult to do on just a dome by itself. And the ones that I've seen kind of look like they need a steeper pitch, so you'd want to make sure you look at those requirements for the unit you want. And we'd have to kind of design the home to work for it. Yeah, and then being up there on the house, gravity, it kind of works like a water tower. So it's getting pressure down, so the water wants to go down into the house. So the use of a pump is not as necessary.
This is a dome down in Sedona area. It's not in Sedona itself. It's a nice dome. It's been sold by the original owners. It's probably 30 years old? Yeah. And the new owners took it over. They love it. And we didn't include the picture of the view that they got, but they had to blast. And half the dome sits on the part they blasted out of the mountain, and half sits on the columns supporting up. And the well,
Lost it?
no, they have a walkway all the way around it. So realize that you have to clean the windows too. With our system of putting the window on, you can walk on the frame of the window. And this provides a way up close. You can by the window. We have a new program.
The robot?
Robot.
You can buy a robot to clean your windows and it's only a little over 100 on Amazon. So I would highly recommend it. It's very useful. I was just doing some today. I wasn't doing the skylights, but I was doing the other windows. You just, it's you have to look at it to see. Go onto Amazon and just look for a robot cleaning windows. There's probably some different ones there.
But that's
Did we get any more questions in from people on?
No,
I
well,
was kind of answering the chat as they rolled through. They were still on point for what our topics were.
Mhm.
So I kind of was able to sneak it in without anybody knowing.
Okay.
Um,
I just
did
have-
we? Oh, go for it.
I was just gonna say, if you're, if you're just kind of starting out, it's really helpful we have a series of questions that you have to fill out so that we know. It's really helpful to us to understand how much money you have, because we don't just jump in there and try to spend it all. What we do is try to stop you from spending it all too fast. We find that it just gets, people just keep adding things and adding things they think they want. And then, when they see the final contract, they're shocked about it. So it's really good to understand what you want to do to begin with. Have a sense. And so consultations with us will help you. Also, I want to mention that if you are in the process of doing getting ready to build the dome, that it's good to do what we call a Zoom raising with us, so that we can kind of check out that you're headed the right direction when you start. And we can do the same thing with roofing and skylight installation and that sort of thing. All those things are available.
we actually had a belated Zoom call. The contractor was doing a mini dome, and he got to near the top, and he was short some struts. He couldn't figure out what was going on. Now, with that dome, you have to start out with the two short struts on a particular wall. And there.
He hadn't. Oh, yeah.
He had started out with the blue on top of it, and he decided that we decided he should take it down right down to the framework. It was pretty easy. It's about 1 hour took him to place it down, and about an hour and a half. They had already done it once, so it was easy to put up. So he lost about 2 hours to 3 hours worth of work. That's
The
it.
dome goes up pretty fast, but you want to get started the right way. So, yeah, I can tell Dennis is doing better with his aphasia, because now he's starting to tell a lot of stories. I used to have to cut him off.
Yeah. No.
So did we want to go back to that one window?
Yeah. Do Gloria's window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a triple pane window that you see on the right. It is the interior pane that is inside the pane can crack. There is a like a hole where that
It's like a
leads.
BB gun almost.
Yeah, but it's not, because it's not. He's got two panes. She has two panes, and it's but just what can happen. It's called spontaneous breakage. It's insured by your insurance company, and there's an insurance company
Which is in a dome.
in a dome. And it can occur. The last time it occurred was in a dome maybe 20 years ago. So it's very infrequent.
But it isn't just domes that it happens to.
It relates to tempered glass. Tempered glass is run through a heat oven, very high temperatures. So that's what you can experience. We are going out next
Next week.
and replace our window.
And they're just replacing the glass.
All we're doing is replacing the glass. That's all we have to change. We take the screws off the top cap, and we take the window out first. I don't know if we'll break this pane. It's still there. It's been this way for a couple months.
Yeah,
And
as it comes out, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
sometimes it can go a long time and it won't fall out. Remember, it's only 2 of the panes that are still good. The outside panes are still good. So that's it.
Anyone have any questions?
Well, all right.
I
Well,
think we answered them all, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
These guys were bored.
they've had a long day building that dome, so, you know.
This is the dome down in Texas.
Texas? Mm-mm. Okay.
Yeah, this is the same
Oh,
white
yeah,
dome with that elastomeric coating. Mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
thanks everybody for joining us. It was a pleasure being here for Dome Talk with all of you today.
Mhm.
And if someone wants to come to Dome Tour, we'll be here
that's next Saturday,
a week from
9:30,
Saturday.
a week from Saturday.
Mhm.
That's true. 9:30 to 4:30.
And there's a lot of domes you can tour, so it's online, you can sign up. All right.
All right. Well, until next month.
We'll see you again.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Nice seeing you all.
Leave.